So probably like me, you've been in this spot where you're on ChatGPT or Google, and you're maybe seeking out some sort of content to help you with a leadership challenge or workplace situation that's going on. And you see the proverbial, cursor blinking in the question, "What can I get help with?" And at times it can feel like I'm inspired and I get a good idea, like I read a piece of content or see a video. It's like, oh, that's it. But then becomes the gap between what I'm inspired by and the person I want to become. And what's the work? We call that the knowing doing gap. It's like I know it now, but I need to do it. And then there's that gap. So I wanted to talk you through, how does coaching help bring that to life? Because you might be in a position like this where you're searching through LinkedIn, so many incredible people and leaders, and maybe you're feeling inspired, or maybe you're feeling overwhelmed by all the people yelling at you with the things you should be doing, just like I'm doing right now. And maybe you click on an article, like, for example, from Mandy Haskett, part of our team. She is an Indianapolis Business Journal contributor. Every month, she has a great article. There's just so much wisdom and gold and ideas in it. And for example, this article, which you could read through, you may have a few moments. And the idea of being a leader who lives under the waterline or above the waterline, and the types of characters that we find ourselves in. So, what would you do with an article like this? And I want to talk to you about how I would coach through maybe an article like this. And we call this coaching for culture, because culture is the reality of your actions. And as you know, in this world, there is just so many things out there selling to you the idea of who I am, who I want to be. And these are the bridges. There's endless paths. But really, when it comes down to it, you're going to have to do some work. And so, culture, if you want the culture you want in your life for yourself or your business or your team, it's really at the core of it. It's repeated skills and behavior over time. Or my favorite, your culture is the sum of things you tolerate and celebrate. So the things you're tolerating is in essence giving you a result, or you celebrate. It's going to tell people what's important, because most culture is what most people say and do most of the time. You're seeing a theme here: action and done over time. So what we need to know is that just because I read something or watched something, there's not like some magic pill where it's automatically going to come. You're going to have to do the work. So this is how I would coach you to shift your culture. One of the things I always do when I start a session is I want to get to the topic. What do you really want to talk about? Because I think so often we're inspired, but we don't really know why we're inspired or why this is a problem. So I start with this: what is the big question you're asking yourself after reading this article, watching this video, this challenge you're having? Like, what's the big question? Because adults, we are inspired to change because of a problem that we want to solve. So I start by asking that big question. So if you're looking at a piece of content, that's the thing I would start with. What about this? What are you asking yourself? Well, what's the big question? AKA, what's the solution you're seeking? Then, if we were in a coaching session and you brought this article to me, this is pretty much the process of how I would walk you through. I would start with, again, the big question. Then we would start to unpack. And let's say you did read through Mandy's article. Then we would begin to walk through these 8 questions. We'd start below the waterline, and then we work our way above the waterline to the person you want to be. So we'd uncover the barriers. We'd uncover who you want to be. We'd uncover the story that you're telling yourself. Then we would start to, piece by piece, like an architect, start to build an infrastructure for you to implement this behavior, then ultimately help you bring it to life. So these are really helpful things. And that's what coaching is all about, is getting a person from the outside to take this idea and then bring it to life through doing the work that it takes to build culture. So if you're interested in learning about how to go from an idea to a reality, coaching, especially leadership coaching, is really, really effective way of doing that. So next time you see a piece of content, ask yourself that big question, and then start to think about, how might I get from a below the waterline, meaning I'm not doing the behavior, to the behavior that I want to do.